What's up, everyone? All right, today in this video, I'm going to talk to you about my PayPal rolling reserve, which has been removed. I currently hold a PayPal account that gets 100% of my payments instantly, and I no longer have a rolling reserve. So for those of you who don't know what a rolling reserve is, let me take a moment to kind of explain. So PayPal looks at your your sales history, right? And they look at the dollar amount of the transactions. They look at a whole bunch of variables. They look at the dollar amount of the transactions. They look at how many returns you're getting, how many refunds, how many chargebacks, and they factor all of those into an algorithm to determine how risky your account is. As a dropshipper, typically you have a higher return rate and a higher chargeback rate. So it's common to receive some kind of rolling reserve or that kind of thing on PayPal. A rolling reserve is something separate from PayPal jail. A lot of people think that when you start selling on eBay, you just have to deal with PayPal jail at the beginning, and then after that it goes away and everything's peachy. The reality is that there's a whole bunch of different ways that PayPal can place holds on your account, and they are not going to give you an account that gets your money straight away instantly until you prove to them that you have a track record of having less risky transactions. So let me go about how it is exactly that I was able to get this hold removed. So before I read this email, I mean, obviously you guys could have read it already, but before I read it, let me explain to you what the rolling reserve was in place on my account. So before any payment that I received, it would be 95% of that money I would get straight away, and then 5% of that money would be put on hold for 90 days. Okay, so I had a balance of roughly $1,000 to $3,000 in my PayPal account that I could not access because it was from the hold. And over time, after 90 days, then every single day you're also getting money from the 90 days previous. So really the hard part is just that first 90 days, because if you have the hold, then after that first 90 days, like, yeah, it's true, you're not getting 5% of the money that you receive, but you're getting 5% of the money you received 90 days ago. So it kind of balances out, right? So let me explain why it is that this PayPal reserve was placed on my account in the first place and how I was able to lift it, because this is something that I planned and did, not something that just kind of happened to me. Okay, so before, when I was dropshipping, I was just posting anything regardless of price. I was posting more expensive items, cheaper items, all of the different things. And my mentality was that, okay, it's the more expensive items are more profitable, right? And what I was really looking at, the thing that kind of dictated my life, was if I went to my eBay page, which is going to load in a second, and it shows you your sales for the day. That chart is all about the dollar amount of your sales. So if you're selling more expensive items, that chart is going to look way better. And this chart that I'm about to show you used to pretty much determine my emotions for the day. And the reason that I sold kind of more expensive items is because I liked it when this chart was bigger. But the reality is that this chart does not directly correlate to profit. It's very easy to make a chart like this that shows thousands of dollars in sales a day, but that has nothing to do with how much money you're earning. I mean, obviously it's a factor, but the reality is that just because you're selling thousands of dollars doesn't mean that you're earning any money. Okay, so I was really focused on this, and what I found is that PayPal limited my account because they felt that my business was risky, and the reason for that mostly was because of the high amount of chargebacks and various other things, right? Because we're talking about times where a customer would make like a $300,000, $500,000 purchase. Okay, the customer is highly incentivized, if they're in a bad financial situation, to place a chargeback or do a return, even if there was nothing wrong, when the transactions are that high. And PayPal also considers these big, large transactions more risky. So what I realized is that by posting these items, that while yes, it was making this chart look better, I was actually I was placing some risks on myself. And what I was doing by doing that, and this is something that a lot of dropshippers do, they post a lot of different items because, they want to have a bunch of sales that people can be like, oh, how are you doing? And then they reply and it's a screenshot of their total sales and it's like $50,000 in 30 days. Whoa, you're doing great, guys. That's awesome. And then people leave you alone and they think you're awesome. And the reality is that has nothing to do with your sales. Okay. So what I eventually shifted to was I was like, okay, I see now that the vast majority of my problems actually come from these more expensive items. And because I'm trying to learn how to operate in this bulk mentality and spend as little time as possible and earn as much money as possible, I can replace all of these expensive items with cheaper items. I have basically almost unlimited access to cheaper items. So why don't I learn how it is that I can earn money off of selling these cheaper items? Because the other theory is that it's easier for people to make purchases if the item cost is less than 40, 50 bucks. Like, take yourself for example. Are you more likely to spend 20 bucks or to spend $200? Like, which one are you more likely to do? In my opinion, it's just simply easier to get people to buy your products if they're cheaper, right? And especially with the bulk mentality, the other advantage of this is that the vast majority of Walmart.com's items for sale are cheaper items. And that got me thinking. I was like, okay, Walmart is reasonably a hugely successful company. Why is it that most of their items are cheaper? If there was more money in more expensive items, why don't they have more expensive items? You know what I mean? So I kind of started thinking, like, how can I kind of adopt what Walmart does? Because they're my source. They're where I get everything from. So how can I figure out what Walmart's strengths are and monetize those strengths? And one of the ways to doing that was completely switching the format of my items. And to just show you how true this is, we're going to go to our active listings, and then you're going to see I have tons and tons and tons of items for sale, right? So what I decided when I made this list, so my store has almost 100,000 items, and this number is going up. It's actually going to be more than 100,000 items. I queued 140,000 items, so it's going to be between 100 and 120,000 items once everything's posted. The vast majority, we're talking 99.9% of those items are between $10 and $35 on Walmart.com. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for that, and I'll get into that later. But remember, the main point of this episode is how I was able to get PayPal to lift my rolling reserve, because now I don't have any limitations on my PayPal account. Whereas in the past, I had a rolling reserve, and before the rolling reserve, I had a withholding limit. So those were both holding me back. Whereas now, all the money that I get instantly, and there's no limit on the amount of money that I receive. Okay? So we have these 92,000 listings, right? So now let's sort these by price. We're going to go to current price, and you're going to see here that there are some more expensive listings, but I'll explain to you that as part of the posting process, some items kind of slip through, right? But we're talking about a very small fraction of items. So I'm going to show you my most expensive items, and then you're going to see that the vast majority of my items are actually less than whatever 35 bucks plus 6 times 1.4 is. So if this works right, then the cap for my items in my store should be 34 plus 6 times 1.4. The cap for my items should be roughly $56. So, okay, right off the bat, there's some that made it through that are more expensive, right? And this may look like a big deal, like, oh, there's something horrible going wrong. But look, guys, I have 100,000 items. We're talking about 928 pages here. So looking at one page and gathering data is basically irrelevant, right? That's 1% of 1% of my whole store. So let's go to page 3 and then see what the most expensive item on page 3 is. Look at that. We're already down to 120 bucks. So now instead of 3, we're going to go to page 6. And we should very quickly get to a point where most of the items are this price, maybe a little bit more, because that's going to be the most expensive items that I have. All right, see, we're already at 70 bucks, and it's rapidly getting there. So let's go to page 10. Because, okay, page 10 of 900, that's the same as page 1 of 90. So we're talking about 1%. All right, we're almost at the 1% point here. So 1% of my items are priced above 56 bucks. The vast majority of them are between $10 and $50. And that is one of the reasons that I was able to get my hold removed, because PayPal views smaller transactions as less risky. PayPal likes smaller transactions. They would much rather you have hundreds of smaller transactions than a couple really big ones. And again, this is going to help you out because people are going to be much more likely to do refunds and chargebacks and all that stuff when you're talking about $200, $300, $400. If it's a $40 transaction, they're less likely to go through the work to do that because ultimately it takes the exact same amount of work to get their money back, regardless of the cost of the item, right? So if it's a $400 item, they are rewarded $400 for doing that work. Whereas if it is a $20 or a $40 item, they are only rewarded 20 or 40 bucks for doing that work. So it's less incentivizing, right? And so I knew that if I would be able, I knew that if PayPal viewed me as a less risky business, that would be best for me. And so that was one of the many, many, many reasons that I changed my item cost to be almost all cheap items, okay? And I could get more into the inner workings of my business and explain like things like multi-quantity sales and all of that. But what I found is that it worked. So the rolling reserve was placed on my account 6 months ago as of 1/15. So you are eligible to request that your account be re-reviewed every 6 months, right? So I called on 1/15 and I was like, hey, PayPal, look, I've changed the format of my business. All of my transactions are less now. I have less returns. I have less refunds. I have less chargebacks. And within 2 hours, they lifted my entire rolling reserve. So I get all of my money instantly. And they removed the hold on $1,000 in my PayPal account. So instantly, now, there is no money on hold in my PayPal account, which really, really helped me out. And the timing for this, I did not plan, but the timing was perfect because I just launched this huge store, right? This store is going to have over 100,000 items. And if we look at the sales, like in the time that I've doing this video, I've had a sale. Let's just really quick, let's go to our orders and then look at all orders. No, we don't want to load their addresses. Let's not do that. I don't want to show YouTube these customers' addresses. So we're just going to load all of the orders. And then, okay, today it's 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock is roughly like, it's like 70% through the day, right? So instead of that, let's look at a day that's already passed. So we're going to look at, well, okay, whatever. Let's see how many sales we had today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, no, that's not right. 2,000. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, 21 sales in 12 plus 5, 17 hours. So we're averaging more than 1 sale per hour, right? And I literally just launched this scale of this eBay store 5 days ago. I started the posting process on the 15th. Or actually, no, on the 16th. So it's been 4 days, not 5 days, which is absolutely crazy because now I have an unlimited PayPal account. So I'm getting all of this money straight away and there's nothing on hold. It is like the stars have aligned. But I just wanted to do this video to show you guys that if you do have some kind of rolling reserve with PayPal, there are ways to get it lifted. Like PayPal is mathematics. It's all about what PayPal considers risks. And if you change the kinds of transactions that you have, then they will look at you more favorably, right? So don't get me wrong. It is entirely possible that because I just increased the scale of my business by like tenfold, basically overnight, that could cause a flag with PayPal. But because PayPal looks at things in like 90-day sections, they just lifted it, so it's unlikely that anything is going to be done for 90 days. So it's possible that in 90 days, they're going to place another rolling reserve on my account just because the amount of transactions that I have coming in. But it's my understanding that because I've now eliminated all of these expensive transactions, like look at this, 40 bucks, 30 bucks, 20 bucks, 40 bucks, 40 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, then that's most likely not going to happen. But I wanted to do this video to give you guys hope. You can get past PayPal rolling reserves. It is very doable, and I have personally done it myself. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.